safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Sunset Safari, where the animals of Djuma, like this elephant, are desperately trying to cool down. My name is Jamie. Behind the camera is Darby, for the first time in forever. I feel like I say that every time I go on drive with you, because it happens once every couple of months. And we're coming to you live from a place called Djuma Private Game Reserve, which is in the Greater Kruger National Park area of South Africa. Behind this elephant, you will see the lodge. Normally, I would have tried to reposition so that we couldn't see the lodge, but to be honest, this was the shadiest spot that I could find. If you would like to send us through your questions, please do on hashtag safariLIVE on Twitter, alternatively in the chat section of YouTube. Look, we have a giraffe as well. And for these poor big animals, it is 40 degrees centigrade this afternoon, so 104 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a nice warm wind blowing in from the sort of northwest, desiccating everything in its path. It feels a little bit like standing in front of a hairdryer for an extended period of time, or perhaps opening the oven when you are attempting to cook something at high temperatures. That's what it feels like. Drying out one's eyeballs as we speak. And this lovely elephant bull has provided me with the inspiration I need for this afternoon. I'm going to be looking for elephants and shade. Elephants and shade. Probably go towards Chitwa, see if anybody's having a swim, if there's no elephants coming up to drink here. Yeah, I think Em is right. I think I've successfully completed both aspects of my plan. This poor elephant has coated himself in mud. It actually probably feels very nice. He, of course, is impervious to the stink of the mud that he has liberally covered his skin with. It smells like stagnant water and hippo dung, which smells a little bit like cow dung, but with an extra fishy twang to it. That's what it smells like here. He doesn't mind too much as long as he's cool. His ears, of course, also helping to complete the job. Kev says that is hot, hot, hot. I have to be honest, I'm feeling shades of 2016. I really have got to stop saying to be honest, really. It's ridiculous. But I am feeling shades of 2016, or lack thereof. It is very white and very bright this afternoon. I'm hoping that the cold front arriving on Tuesday should bring us some relief. While we sit with our Ellie and he decides what he's going to do, I don't think he's going to leave the water yet. We're going to send you across to Lauren so she can say good afternoon. Oh, well, she was there. No, she's behind a tree. She's back out again. Shall we follow our elephant, Darby? Yes. It means abandoning our shade, though. Woo! Let's follow our Ellie. See where he's going to go. Where is he going to lead us? I'm hoping towards some other elephants on their way to come and have a drink as well. Pretty typical for a nice hot afternoon. You know what I'm really looking forward to? I would love for us to have a really nice big downpour, the kind that fills up all of the water holes. We might need a couple of downpours at this stage to really get into those muddy cracks that have been left behind by the drought. But if we could have some nice heavy rain and then some nice full water holes, then we can have those afternoons where we spend hours watching young elephant bulls swim. It's one of my favorite things to do. Don't be a silly. Don't be silly. You carry on eating your tree. Bumblebee wants to know if we have to take special care of the cameras in the heat. Darby? Not really. Just make sure they're clean with the dust. When Let's try that sentence again. I'm allowed to be inarticulate today. It's because my brain is cooking. In 2016, when we had a different type of camera, and it used to hit temperatures of around 46, 47, 48. I remember times where the camera would shut down. It would just give us a heat warning and just turn off. And we'd have to just stop and go and sit in the shade for a bit until the camera cooled down. And that happened several times to my recollection. Then, of course, there was one time where none of us went out. It was very, very hot. And then I attempted to go out with my cameraman, Tebbs, I think it was at the time. We went out, and about 15 minutes in, he just looked at me and said, I can't do this. We were there. James, I think, at that point had heat exhaustion and was in the air conditioning of the final control. It's the only room that has air, well, the only two rooms that have air conditioning is the final control and our tech room, so that our equipment doesn't get too hot. It's okay, boy, you don't have to leave on my account, or is it just too hot in the sun? The mud, of course, will now have seeped into the cracks of his skin, adding a little extra level of protection. But you can see he didn't manage to get up to the top of his spine or his back. He did manage to liberally coat his tummy. And he might even be thinking about going somewhere to go and have a jolly good scratch and rub off the mud and get rid of all of those itches. And that little baby elephant that we saw, I think the mud makes them itchy as well. We saw a little elephant at Chitwa who was the itchiest elephant that ever existed. He just wanted to scratch everything. It was too funny watching him trying to work out how to scratch the delicate parts of his anatomy. Alright, so I had to choose between our giraffe and our elephant. So while I follow the elephant, Lauren's not far, and she's looking at the giraffe.
Following you, Jamie, we just happened to bump into each other, and yes, I've taken the giraffe. It was off in the distance, probably very visible from the dam cam, and of course feeding as it is walking along, not avoiding the sun itself, clearly dealing with it a lot better than I am, although there is a nice breeze coming through, so I can't really complain too much, to be honest with you. Now, interestingly enough, this is a male, and he's very pale. And of course, we speak about the coloration a lot now that that new study has been released. So this potentially means that he could be a younger male, but it could also mean that he's just not very dominant in status. So he stays nice and pale. He's got a very white bottom. I wish he would turn around so we could see his bottom. Moon bum, we'll call him. And of course, it could just mean that he's just not so dominant in that hierarchy. So he spends his life trying to hide in amongst the females. And rather than being dominant and sort of chasing after the females, he'll sort of fit in among the herds and will eventually mate with them through gaining their trust, rather than moving from herd to herd to herd to find any receptive females. By giraffe, we are going to look for a leopard. I can't even imagine how hot and sticky Tlalamba must be feeling right now. Oh, we've still got Jamie. I think we're just bumping into one another today. Oh, I see why. Oh no, we're not good. Oh, okay, we have roadblocks. Look at this. Sorry, Jamie. Shall we move on to the leopard and let Jamie have her elephants? We shall. Jamie, you can have your elephants. But they are about to cross right in front of us, so I'm just going to turn off, not to disturb them. And then Jamie can have her elephants if I'm going to the leopard. Hello, elephants. I have a funny feeling you're all on your way to water. They've got that jaunty skip about them. How wonderful. So Jamie's going to head straight to the dam and get beautiful views of them all lapping up the water, splashing and enjoying every single minute. So it looks like this parade of giant grey mammals are heading right in the direction of Jamie. Over to her.
That's the plan. We're back where we started. As soon as I saw these ellies, I turned around and made a beeline straight back to the perfect viewing point to sit and watch some ellies come and have a drink. There we go. Here comes the ellies doing their water walk. It's a half jog. And there's nothing like watching excited ellies running their way towards water, desperate to quench their thirst. Hey guys, are you thirsty? So exciting. Run, 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 run. It's exactly what it looks like. It looks like the ladies that do the speed walking around Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. I have a funny story about that, but it can wait until our eddies have had a bath. Just remind me afterwards. Very funny story about power walking people. First, they're going to go and have a mud bath, sliding down. Oh, that's just the best. Someone's gone straight in, face planted. One of the youngsters. Oof. I think this mud is just the best consistency at this stage. She's basically standing on the youngsters who are slipping and sliding. It's too much for one. He's gone running around out towards the end. It was too much. He was too much excitement. The other one's now flat down on his side. Oh, this is just the best. Oh, is that nice, guys? All I can hear is the splat of mud. Look at this cow. Is that nice, lady? Every strong woman deserves a spa day. Oh, you've got all of your left side, little one. You need to lie down on the other side now. Yes, you do. You can't just scratch your head on someone else. Aussie Carla says that she agrees with me on the spa day. Absolutely. I've never managed very well with spas. I tend to get quite bored. However, my experience with them is very limited. And the last time I went, I had a wonderful time. It was with my mom, though. Oh, oof, it was just the best. Don't know where to look. Elephants sinking down into the mud. Our elephant bull from earlier has decided to come back. Oh, shame. That poor youngster's got so much mud round its left eye, it can barely see. I'm just going to let you listen for a second to them drinking. Now, Shannon, you want to know, while the wind blows away our sounds, you want to know if an elephant has ever squirted me with water. Yes, it has happened, but far less frequently than I would have liked. On a day like today, I think I would absolutely love that. It's such a privilege and an honor to be squirted by an elephant. But it has only happened to me a couple of times in my life. The most recent was actually in the Masai Mara, where an elephant bull decided to spray. Darby, I think you were with us. Were you and my cameraman? No, maybe not. Oof, can't remember. But yes, that was the last time. I've also had a stick thrown at me a couple of times, and the odd piece of grass. It does happen, but very seldom. It's generally the young males that do it. Look at this little one using its trunk. Hannah, you want to know if the hippo is hiding away under the bushes. I honestly don't know where he is. I assume so. I assume he's gone to hide in the shade. It's one of those really, truly unfortunate realities of the drought out here. The water that they pump into this pan has to come from somewhere. It has to come from somewhere. And there's not an unlimited supply of it. It comes from a natural spring underground. The more we pump, the less water there will be until we have rain. There's always the risk of an underground water source running dry, and then none of the animals will have water. And that's why this new pan was built, because the old one was leaking, not where you could see it, but down below on the back side of the dam wall. It was leaking down water and just losing so much water through that process that the owners here decided it was time to remedy with a new pan that doesn't leak as much. And you can completely see why. I know it's tough to see the hippos like that, but ultimately it's for the good of every animal out here, not just the hippos. I have to kind of think of it like that. Oh, is that so nice, guys? Wish I could tell them to stop spraying trunkfuls of water, or trunks full. What would it be? Trunks full, not trunkfuls. Trunks full of water over the side whenever they come and drink. Water is limited. Sky, who is 9 years old, wants to know why the elephants were playing in the mud. Honestly, because they enjoy it. It's fun. It feels really, really nice on their skin, but also because the mud will take some time to cool. So it's basically like putting on some aloe vera or something like that after a long hot day in the sun. It helps to draw heat out of the body, and when the wind blows like this, because the mud is met, because the mud is wet, when the wind blows, it helps to cool them down through evaporation. So it's just really a process of cooling down. It does also help to get rid of insects or arthropods and external parasites, but mostly I think it's because they like it. I think it's fun. And you can't tell me that an elephant doesn't look joyful as it plunges into the slippery, sticky mud. I think it's just the best thing ever. Isn't it, little one? You did the best job. You're so covered in mud. I'm so impressed. It's all going to be clumped in your eyelashes now. There's these tiny 2 little tusks poking through. You're growing your tusks. That is so cute. Just started to grow. This one has done the best job of getting covered in mud. Now it is dust bathing time. Oh, look at the left there, Darby. We've plopped. The adults are pretty good at using their trunks to get dust where it matters, but for the little ones, sometimes they have to resort to some unconventional methods. And often that means plop. That. It means plopping right down. Slight head turn from the female there, intimidating the youngster that was about to go and have a look at what that baby was doing. It immediately stopped in its tracks, which just goes to show how in tune elephants are to each other's body language. And as suspected, it was a young male. He is growing up and reaching that painful time when he'll be split away from the rest of his herd. Oh, is that nice, everybody? Giraffe looking on. Oh, someone's got a leg itch to... There we go. Get to all those hard-to-reach places. Don't you swish your head. You're the one who made yourself look silly, not me. Running. Well, that was quite nice, Darby. I think we should aim to repeat this process several times this afternoon. So while I attempt to find another elephant herd as intent on drinking as this lot, let's go across to Tlalamba, who I'm sure would also quite like a drink.